Perform today, and I'm all about togetherness. And the people were that travel from the mountains, come down the coastal, then or to become together as a pound mai, or to talk together for doing one for something for living. So I'm now song I'm all about. Thank you. Tani sui kirikasiho.
Good enough,
Topic maybe for today. Yeah, topic maybe for today is there any chance for the poor to cope with extreme environmental events? 2 case studies in the Solomon Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to make welcome Dr. Michael Harpio. Let's give him a big round of applause, please.
Thank you, MC. Also, thank you, Director for USP for your presence this afternoon, I would say. And also thank you, all of you, to come as well for this presentation. I'll just run through the presentation. We have about 20 slides to go through, so perhaps I'll just get through it and let's see what we should learn about the presentation this afternoon. I'm so honored to present this paper to you all. And actually, this is a paper that has already been published. And it is part of my PhD thesis. And I should say that it was published in 2019 in one of the, it's a prestigious journal in the US. The paper sort of wants to reconciling the theme of our talk story this afternoon. I'd like to reconcile with the theme Poni Maiha means Imi story. Yeah, Imi story. That's the context of Rore where I come from. And connecting that as well to the song that this gentleman sang as well. They say that some devil come from the bush, you know, down to the coastal areas, and through Pony Maiha, we can dialogue anything forward. So this is the context of this as well. Just to add to what Selwyn has said, those are the things that makes me busy beside being a researcher. At the moment, I'm a full-time Commonwealth advisor to the Solomon Island government in terms of climate finance. The title that I want us to look at is there any chance for the poor to cope with extreme events? Prior to this, I come up with a household net worth in responding to extreme event. Then I have to change the topic, and I have to pose a question. Is there any chance? Is there any chance that the poor Solomon Islander could survive any extreme event? And that's a question that I want us to ask. And through this my session, eventually we will address at the end that yes or no. So reconciling that theme, it is important for us to know with our context, like the context of Solomon Islands. They say that we are not only poor, but also underdeveloped. Not only underdeveloped, but they label us so many things, so many negativity about Solomon Islands. And conventional studies shows that you can only have high capacity, high income, high index, human index, development index, in order for you to be resilient to extreme event. But in the case of Solomon, I'll show you that it's totally different. It's totally different. So I'd like to acknowledge some of the forums that I've already shared this perspective, this stock story to them as well. Actually, it was published in the journal in the world. It's an A-star ranked journal. It's an A-star ranked journal. It's an economics journal in the state. Every economist wants to publish in A-star ranked journal. Presented at the COP23 sideline event. Presented at the East Anglia University. Also presented in Suva ANU update, Pacific update at the ANU and USP update, and presented at the International Conference for Poverty and Justice, also in Suva. I already share my opinions at all those forums as well. So it's not just something that I sort of dream about or just about, the make-up story, but this is something that I believe, and it's an outcome of a research that I've taken in the Solomon Islands. I must also acknowledge these very important people, that they have at least contribute and also lay some foundation to the paper as well. Like our first presenter, he spoke about migration, why Solomon Islands are not keen to migrate. Yeah? And Dr. Billy Fito talks about one-talk system and nation building. That is extremely important. One-talk system or one-talk, the way we say one-talk, and in terms of nation building or citizenship. That's very important. And Dr. Derek Mane, he's not here, but he wrote some paper about one-talk system and development. Yeah, one-talk system and development. Very often we look on the negative side of one-talk system. We never look at the positive side of or little we see the positive side of one-talk system. And one of my papers, I also wrote about one-talk system, a model and a climate change adaptation. This is one of my papers as well, just published as well. And Dr. Godonano, he spoke about, or he wrote about one-talk system and socio-economic and political network in Melanesia, are much broader, but still in the space of one-talk system and development. And in my just background, Solomon Island is one of the lowest, or not lowest, but somehow it's moderate to low, human development index. That's a very important background information for us to know before we go further into our discussion. In terms of GDP, we sort of have a moderate kind of GDP within the compared to the Pacific, but moderate to low as well. And in terms of income level, you might appreciate that or know with me that our household income is relatively low compared to others in the Solomon in terms of value. So we can say that all these indicators, they are pointing to one door, and that is it's not good for us. It's not positive to us if we really want to say that we can accommodate or absorb or averse these extreme events. So having those in mind, we also have the negativity kind of connotation about one-talk system. We look at one-talk system as something that you don't want to revisit next time. Oh, I have one-talk blame, yeah. Oh, I am dim na. Oh, one-talk na. Soa to soa. Yeah, soa to soa. Oh, say a lot man lot tikopian eh. No one that know what national national anthem, but him says soa to soa. Eh, miniman lo soa nama, or let him go inside mo eh. Kaya no sim, inside lo or stop him full na, you come. But waka man do tikopia come nama looking one talk blame. Him go inside nama. So bakalo security back out stop him say no wonder no mat national anthem, but him say soa to soa. So that's a concept of one-talk system as well. So the theme of the paper says that why we still able, or why we still able to survive extreme events, considering our number of constraints. Yeah, or everything turning the other way around, but we can be able to yield different results. So poverty, poor adaptive capacity, low HDI, irrelevant GDP. Our GDP is high there, but doesn't reflective of our households. Yeah, the GDP is there, but how relevant is the GDP explained to the households in the rural communities? Yeah, GDP nothing no more. Go there, but man no anything na kind of thing. So through this Pongi, I believe that we can come up with some potential answers, some alternatives, how we could together address some of these issues. So what Whiteman say, adaptive capacity is the ability for you to absorb a shock. On a macro level, if we have a high GDP, like Solomon Island, if any disaster or if any event, any shock have happened, our GDP is able to absorb, is able to kick back and move on. That's on a macro level. On a micro level, if you have high income, Otto Whiteman said that you can be able to bounce back in terms of buying salt, buying tent, buying anything. Then you can be able to leverage yourself and move on with life. Yeah, so that's the theories of, normal theories. That's not normal theories. But we will see our own theory as well. Yeah? Extreme event is something that is a hostility. It's something that, according to IPCC, they defines that despite of this extreme event, for example, a flood is an extreme event. It's not only climate change. Yeah, because Solomon Islands, climate change, yes, but beyond climate change, we face a lot of extreme events. Flooding, earthquake, they are non-climate, but they are floods. I mean, not floods, but they are extreme events. Yeah. So, like for example, last time Ranoga was hit, or Western Province was hit by a tsunami, which is a non-climate event. Yeah. So, how can a Solomon Island community be able to pull itself and move forward on the face of these events? I'll just jump through. Also, the method we use is ethnography. Ethnography means you go there, understand the people, know them, and you write a paper, get the information. Yeah, so that's ethnography. And the method how we analyze is thematic kind of analysis. So you say, okay, these are the emerging issues. Then you compile them together. Then you redo it again over and over, and you will come with, let's say, after 5 or 6 process, then you will come with the final result. And this is, although it's qualitative, but it's scientifically proven. Yeah, it's scientifically proven because go through this process. So our hypothesis is that income net worth is a poor measure of community and household well-being. Income net worth, yeah, is a poor. The other one is household net worth is largely considered as a main contribution factor towards responding to the impact of extreme event. So household income net worth means the amount of money you're getting. Okay, household net worth, it comprises of your income plus others as well, other factors into the income net worth. Yeah, so money is not enough. You have to add some more factors into. Yeah, factors into. So we use we call the farm collective household model. Farm collective household model is like more economics oriented, but every household wants to yield the most benefit from the utility, the first utility that they have, and if they have the second, then it goes down to a level that it's constrained, yeah, by other factors. Yeah, so that's the equation I wrote to support this model. Yeah, to support this model. So you have to subject to constraint, collectivity, togetherness, utility, maximum benefit. There is always some limit. Yeah. Then, if you reach that, then you have to add that maybe within some uncle more, some people contribute come more. So the case study side, Ranoga, this island of Ranoga in the Western Province. Minasa itu, why not Mingolo Ranoga, but yeah, Ranoga there. This is April Valley, Matanico side. Those are my 2 case studies. So the $1 million question is there any chance for the poor to cope with extreme environment event, provided that some of the factors that Micheal come, provided some of the factors that I've alluded to or said earlier. Result in the study. Result in the study, like MC has read, one talk system is a form of social capital, are among the most prevalent reasons that have come, or result that pops up from the study. Government responses are there, but they are secondary. Grounded theory on community cooperation is evident as well. For example, chiefs' involvements are also critical, both in Western Province and also here in April Valley. There are also some elements of chiefs system in there as well. Income is important but not critical. Income is important but not critical. That's what we've learned. What we've learned. Some statistics. I don't want to bore you with these statistics, but the statistics say that, from 1980 to 2009, about 17 disasters experienced in Solomon Islands. About affected 300,000 people, and its value in terms of net worth, about 60% of the country's population that Kasim. In terms of dollar, it's cost about 20 million US dollars. So it's like within the 17 years, it's like 1.2 million US dollars for 1 year in terms of those years. But now the environment, the hazards are increasing. Yeah? So we expect the figures to grow. But despite of all this, the question is, we still able to exist as communities. We still exist as villages. Yeah? We still exist. So this is the just a copy of our GDP. I don't want to bore you with that. So according to this data, 2012, about 24% of population of Solomon Island lives below poverty line. They live on less than $1 US per day. Yeah? 2016, about 14%. Lately, about 12.7%. People in Solomon Islands, it's about 80,000 people. They live below poverty line. Remember earlier the statement I said that according to conventional studies, they say that you must have income more than certain amount, be able to survive extreme event. But in Solo, 70,000, about 75,000 people, they live below poverty line. But despite all these extreme events, not 70,000 people died. How many people? I mean, maybe 20, yeah, or maybe less than 20. But conventional theory says that you must have a high HDI, you must have high income, you must have all these high GDP in order to absorb on a macro level and also on a micro level. But the story is different for Solomon Islands, and I believe some other Pacific Island countries as well. Because on the household model, on the utility, we reach a certain level, but outside the certain level, we build on other factors, other attributes. That is why we're still able to bounce back and move forward, even we have less than $1 US to live on every day. According to World Bank and International Monetary Fund, living below $1 is poorest. And sad to say that 75,000 or so people still live in Solomon Island. But when cyclone and disaster comes, those 70,000 people, they don't depend on the GDP. They don't depend on those HDI, they don't depend on those indicators. They depend on social network. They depend on uncles. They depend on community resilience. They depend on something else which is not captured in the GDP, the conventional. This is a graph I said between. This is a graph that I based on the data from April Valley. The green represents their borrowing, and the dark green, the short one, the dark green represent their savings. They are borrowing more than their savings. They are living on a, in terms of finance, they are living on other people's money. But in terms of household model, that farm model, no. Some of the money they are living on is not accounted in monetary terms. So you cannot confine that to the monetary. So come back to the $1 million question again. And this is the question that I always ask my audiences. So is there any chance for a Solomon Islander to survive, having gone through all these indicators telling us that there's no way out? But the reality is yes, we still survive. Thank you. That's the end of our presentation.
Okay, thank you very much for that, that very interesting and very precise presentation, yeah? Short and precise. What we're going to do now is we're going to move into question and answers, yeah? If you got any question, you ask them come. By bosses, stay there for answer na.
Doctor, with your presentation and with those graphs, how would you diagnose the problem of borrowing from our people when they don't know the culture of money? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. That's for a very good question. That question was in light, I mean, the point that I made there was made in light of even our communities are depending on borrowing, but they can be still able to go through. They are like living on deficit, but there is a net worth somewhere that caters for that, meaning that they don't have the money, but they still continue to live on. Yeah, like context law arare. If me make him party or me make him torana, me no need for garam selen home money. Narman kam noma ha hem tok noma na approve give him kam come me fal kolem red money me give him gonna because hem save him you time you in need, but hem no garam tu ya man hem take him selen hem no garam tu ya ba next time ma hem kam money na mi borrow hem ba kind of same ya, but question blow hem real the context I'm asking in terms of borrowing, and that's a culture its own, and we have to look at financial kind of thing. So the culture of borrowing, only thing that we can do is generate alternate kind of income so that it do away with that culture of borrowing. Yeah, culture of borrowing is a real you mean. Money management, we don't know. Because our culture is, it's us, not no. No versus us. We don't have profit. What man come to see me for make profit? That's a common, that's a foreign concept, profit. We say we share. That's our culture. So when we copy white man's culture, you mean wrong now. Me borrow now for me or semua, yeah? So that's a whole study of its own, but thank you for that question. IMI must doing for educating people, raising alternate incomes, so that micro incomes, so that can help him or people blame me for borrowing that one. Said.
Thank you. My name is Primo, and I'm quite agree with the outcome of your findings. Now, my question is because GDP is not I said useful to represent our culture of one talk system to keep us going in the face of extreme events. What is another indicator that best represent our one talk system culture that we can use in a really formal way? Thank you.
Thank you, Primo. Actually, I didn't cover that section, but we have about 4 capitals. Financial capital, which capture the GDP, human capital, social capital, and natural capital. So what they are classifying us is only based on one. That's the financial, and that's the GDP. But to have a holistic picture of Solomon Island, they should assess us on those 4 dimensions. They are social capital, which means one talk system. Me poor uncle helping me now. School fee, narawan come helping me now. Kind of thing. That's social capital. And natural capital, our natural resources, they are there. They said Solomon Islands are very rich, but they are just natural resources. Someone come and do evaluation to us. Don't just look at what goes through the process. Then you say, oh, worth block na something him go through, no more pipeline here. No. We are more than a lot in stock. Value us based on that, not value us based on something him go through window here. No. Yeah? So, and human capital, of course, is you. Human capital. In disasters, people help. In disasters, for example, if we go into detail, first people to come, uncle. You know the Red Cross na come first. Sorry, Red Cross. You know the MDO na come first. No. Our very own uncle. How you right no ma? Narada dia ring. Kasing. The one talk system through this resilience building him very high. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Mary. My question is, if there was a different standard of measurement, would they pull out the label of poor or all those negative labels from our country?
Actually, this is a political topic. Yeah. So we actually discussed this in East Anglia University, Law UK, and this is the topic of don't assess us based on the financial only. You must assess us through our capital, through our social capital, through our natural capital. And the topic has been discussed through World Bank as well. And it stays still Lodianoma. Hem needing political will to push this up to that level, to higher level. Academia, they can say the bit. Hem say Lodianoma honor talk story blood academia noma. But we need political move to drive this. And of course, if this one go through, then perhaps they look at us differently. Yeah, not like poor of the poorest country in the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Nemblomi Pongi. Thank you, Doctor. Good presentation. I do agree with the outcome of your presentation. Extreme event, we can stand it. Actually, me garam to a question. First question based on about GDP. You stated earlier that GDP is not well reflected in the rural area. My question what the problem? Is the tool used no good, or the assessment or the data collected is not adequate enough to address that downfall? Or we go on for second question?
Yeah, please, yeah. So let me answer to all of that.
Second question belum ya Mosem. Presentation belum you hembara good na. But I just me frightened a little bit because we don't give space for government, because we can do it through one talk system. Then where's the space for government coming to help?
Yeah, thank you for those very nice questions. The first one is about the GDP. GDP, I said, is not a good measure. It's not a real. I say it's irrelevant. GDP is really good. I mean, that's really good. But the point is that it captures only certain activities that goes through production. Yeah, it doesn't reflect the whole non-business activities. Yeah, so it's not really a good indicator of how wealthy a community is. Yeah, it can be misrepresented as well. Yeah, we got a good GDP now, but Golo village. Oh, good GDP, but still no good no more. Oh, got low GDP, but stay good no more kind of thing. So it's not really a good indicator of a country, of a community, of well-being. Yeah, because there are other factors as well and missing. Yeah, and one of them being it records only certain activities that have involved in selling. Yeah, non-selling have no record him na. In kind, no record, not recorded. Yeah, so it's not really reflective of one MME. Okay, the other one is about government. Yes, government is very important. I think me not really mention him too much, but in the conclusion, I say that one talk system is, or through cooperation, all this is one of the priorities. Then also government's role in playing this in disasters as well. Yeah, we can't discount that. Yeah, so the government must provide. Government must be somebody in the background to ensure that all this happens. Yeah, so we can't discount government; it's there, but more on the prevalent agenda is that one talk system is strong. Yeah, then government enhancing kama, but him should be good na kind of thing. Thanks.
Mike, you open him minds blow me for Lamoya, Tage Thomas. In fact, lo just for add on no more, I think government policies are creative for you. Me focus more on government and look now the social system where I'm supporting you too much now. Why you first mention him, if brother or sister or uncle blow me not around, ought not count me as a person no more, because survival blow me, hemlo family units no more. Even if me no got him 1 cent, me survive. But because government policies and focus more on monetary factors, so people tend for direct him thinking block at our minds and eyes block at that law government and forget about what now to survive for him go kasim this time. So I think it's better for you me put them in this stronger law systems blame law country, yeah. And if if you miss have a promote him inside me teachers or by me say promote him inside the education systems blame me. For looks have a who now support him have come from at first which you indicate him, and also you may by put him inside system where him not just one off but him continue to sustain, because if you put him inside those systems by him sustainable. Thank you.
Sorry, hello everyone. Name me team. Me get one for comment no more. But after this one, and by me a long time for to friend me for come ask you one for a question when bara what trouble him to follow them. Since to follow brave, so me come on behalf of to fati. So to fati economist too. I think so. Baita come after. Comment no more. Me interest lo part lo resiliency where you mentioned me. Lo case blow. This first study case we take him lo here lo. Where Hill, I think. Yeah. Me think him by, I think him much more interesting more for you me find about this remote areas lo Solomon Islands here, like the case below Renol and Bellona. Those communities here, they've never received help in times of need, especially low extreme weathers like cyclone, low Tikopi and Anutai. Those communities here, bara no receive help. Me think if study him extended to these communities, I think by me got a much broader picture of how now one talk system him help here. So case blimilo here, yeah. Since he missed a town no more, there is a room where people are easily go and then go and then give him help plus side of finances and all this because he missed no more Honiara especially. But to these very communities where me always ask him now is Renol and Bellona. Time cyclone or about maybe go hide no more lot caves and so forth, all these things. Yeah, I'm not me think comment below me. Now by me, by you talk later, but by me ask him to for come up and ask him question to for bara like fast.
Okay. Thank you. Name below me Zarakala Zan. Like asking for a straightforward simple question no more. Given the nature and circumstance of a dependence, one talk system, based on dependency syndrome. How well now him contribute to the social development or to the economic development by GDP level? How now was one talk system? Because you may say dependency syndrome. How now him contribute to that? Thank you.
Thank you for those questions. The first one. One talk system or one talk space law really down to the provinces or community law far away law there. Main reason for me first come study this part of my PhD. Me fala sabe dream no more what a little bit place and convenient as well because we don't have the full how many years for comes up, we just select a site here and otherwise go Lorraine Bell the best, yeah, kind of thing. In terms of one talk system law that rural community have already exist. Literature, all that paper that me tell them is that what about called adaptation and one talk system. All these have started the community blaming even more than 100 years. Yeah, more than many years. We try to live on our way many years to absorb this risk. You know, say mot mane kam no Oslo Oxfam kam no teach me for this one. No. Even time even no sabi anything selen yet, imi played that role of community many years ago. So the dimension of it may be slightly different, from Lohia, but the one talk system have exist many years ago, and imi been survived through disasters and extreme event for centuries as well, for centuries as well. Time him play out law modern society, him little bit different, but the principles are just the same. Yeah, so just to talk about that one naman. In terms of question blow to young man there, in terms of how now one talk system can play or contribute towards economic development or this GDP, all this. So many goods and bads about one talk system as well. But me like you look too much on negativity, but we look on the positive aspect. Book me talem earlier, Dr. Derek Mane, thesis blahem about one talk system and development. Yeah, so if you really want to know that, you read that thesis about one talk system, law Vanuatu and Solomon Island, law development. Development have direct connotation to GDP and all these indicators. Yeah. One example of one talk system could contribute in one way or the other is that opening hours for store, for shop example. One talk system so uncle blame naman store kipa so onim or store long time na because store saving people kind of same. So if Chinese close to 7 or 6 naman, but because storekeeper uncle blame naman, so him extend kasi 10 o'clock na lord night. So if 10 o'clock production him on, him affect him production na kind of same. Yeah. So in one way we can apportion that long hour him open to that number of volume of units and produce. Then we can say that that is a direct link between one talk system and productivity and hopefully GDP. Yeah, but on the other side, him no good too. So yeah, so very nice question, but we kind of really determine the closeness of this relationship, but we can make general statement that there is correlation between those number of hours and also number of productivity that contributes towards our GDP. Thank you.